The day after my wife signed the divorce papers, I drove without direction, the city lights blurring past like memories I wished I could erase. Every street corner whispered fragments of our life together, laughter echoing from the cafes we once visited, the soft hum of cars like the heartbeat of a past I no longer belonged to. My hands gripped the steering wheel until my knuckles cracked, and yet, I couldn't stop. I didn't want to stop. Pain demanded movement. Despair demanded motion. Hours later, I found myself at the edge of town, in front of a cheap motel with a flickering neon sign. Its paint was peeling, the parking lot cracked, and the smell of cigarettes and bleach clung to the air like a warning. I didn't care about comfort. I just needed a place to collapse, to hide from a world that suddenly felt cruel, empty, and mocking. I entered, my footsteps echoing across the linoleum floor. Behind the counter, a woman with sharp eyes and a tired face looked up at me. She didn't smile. She barely blinked. "Room for the night?" I asked, my voice hoarse. She slid a key across the counter without a word. Just as I was turning to leave, she leaned forward, her voice a whisper, barely audible. "I know what happened yesterday, and it's worse than you think." I froze. Her words hit me like ice water, and a shiver ran down my spine. What do you mean?" I asked, though a part of me feared the answer. She didn't reply. Instead, she gave me a look that seemed to pierce through every layer of my soul, as if she knew things I had tried to ignore. I took the key and stumbled into my room. The door creaked behind me like a funeral bell. The bed sagged in the middle, the sheets smelled faintly of smoke and something sour I couldn't place. I sank onto it, burying my face in my hands. The divorce papers were still burning a hole in my coat pocket, their finality pressing down on me. Memories swarmed me. How she laughed when she thought I wasn't looking, the gentle brush of her hand across mine, the nights we argued about trivial things that now seemed meaningless. And through it all, the gnawing suspicion I had tried to silence. Maybe she had never really loved me. Hours passed. I couldn't tell if it was night or morning. The neon outside buzzed constantly, flickering shadows across the cracked walls. My phone vibrated. Unknown number. My stomach sank. I opened it, and a single message appeared. "I think you need to see this before it's too late." Attached was a picture. Her, my ex-wife, smiling, holding hands with a man I didn't recognize. I felt my chest tighten, the breath knocked out of me. Betrayal became tangible, a sharp blade slicing through my chest. I dropped the phone, but the image burned in my mind, relentless, impossible to ignore. A knock. Soft. Hesitant. I froze. "Who is it?" I called, my voice trembling. Silence. Then, another knock. Louder. Deliberate. My pulse pounded, each beat a drum of anticipation and fear. I grabbed the flashlight from the nightstand, every muscle tensed, and cracked open the door. The receptionist stood there, holding a small envelope. "Give this to no one," she whispered, her eyes scanning the hallway as if someone might be listening. "It's about her. About everything you think you know." I took the envelope with shaking hands. Inside, evidence, photos, messages, receipts, dates, proof that my wife had been living a life I had no idea existed. The depth of the betrayal stunned me. She hadn't just left me. She had meticulously constructed a world where I was blind, naive, and completely deceived. My knees buckled, and I sank to the floor, clutching the envelope like it was my only anchor to reality. "You're not safe here," the receptionist said before disappearing into the dim corridor, leaving me alone with my heartbreak and the cold, fluorescent light above. I spent hours poring over the evidence. Each photo, each message, each whispered lie she had fed me for months was a dagger to my heart, but also a key to the truth. I realized with chilling clarity that the life I thought I had was never mine. By dawn, I was exhausted, my eyes red and raw, but I felt a strange, sharp clarity. Pain had stripped away illusions. Anger had sharpened my senses. And a decision formed, cold and resolute. I wouldn't let her lies define me. I wouldn't let betrayal break me completely. I would reclaim myself, my dignity, and my life. The envelope stayed in my hand as I stepped outside. The neon sign buzzed behind me, the first light of morning casting long shadows over cracked pavement. The world was waking, oblivious to the storm that had consumed me. But I was awake, more awake than I had ever been. I walked down the street, each step echoing with determination. I didn't know what awaited me, but for the first time since she left, I felt like I had control again. Somewhere in that cheap, dimly lit motel, a stranger had whispered words that shattered me, but those same words had also saved me. And as I disappeared into the rising sun, I realized that the end of my marriage wasn't just an ending. It was the beginning of the version of myself that would never again be blind, never again be naive, and never again be silent.